Here, to accomplish what he previously mentioned, what the Sheikh rahmatullahi alayhi previously mentioned about the believer not having grief about the past, and likewise not having anxiety about the future, one of the things that would help the believer accomplish that is to make dua to Allah Azza wa Jal. To make dua to Allah Azza wa Jal. And he mentions a specific dua, and we'll explain that dua. So one of the greatest things that helps a believer as it relates to not having anxiety about the future is dua and remembrance of Allah Azza wa Jal. And it's ajib that some of us, we go through trials and we go through tribulations and we go through difficulties. And then when we ask an individual, how many supplications of the Prophet have you memorized and you find many of us don't know many at all. So my dear brother and sister, if Allah continues to test you with trials and tribulations, why have you not implemented what the Prophet ﷺ has given us as a means of rectification? Take time to learn those dua. The previous dua that we mentioned, where the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever is afflicted with a trial and tribulation, they should say this dua, Allahumma inni abduk, ibn amatik. So the Prophet taught his companions to say this dua. Then the companion said, Ya Rasulullah, should we memorize it? The Prophet ﷺ said, it is befitting for anyone who hears this dua to memorize it and to say it. So you hear brothers and sisters, may Allah guide us all, going through calamity after calamity after calamity. And some of us, may Allah make us strong on His path, have become weak because of those calamities. But we haven't taken it upon ourselves to say and memorize those supplications. So how do we want Allah Azza wa Jal to change our affairs where we haven't actively done something to change our own affairs?